This might blow your mind. Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, is going all in on XRP. Ripple sounds wild, right? But here's the kicker: some crypto experts believe XRP's price could skyrocket to as much as $122,580. That's insane. If that prediction holds any weight, this might be the last chance to scoop up XRP while it's still cheap. Let's cut to the chase. According to crypto lawyer John Deaton, Coinbase's plan to launch regulated XRP futures contracts is more than just a strategic move. It's a pivotal moment in XRP's long and complicated relationship with US regulators. Here's what's happening. Coinbase Institutional recently filed paperwork with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, seeking approval to offer XRP futures contracts. The proposal positions the product as a low-capital, safe investment in one of crypto's most recognized assets. If all goes well, the futures contracts are expected to go live on April 21 ST. But this development didn't come out of nowhere. It's been years in the making, years filled with regulatory confusion, silence from authorities, and an XRP community that simply refused to quit. In his detailed post, Deaton recapped how Coinbase had already conducted an internal legal review back in January 2019 and determined that XRP was not a security. Some of the top securities lawyers in the crypto world agreed. Coinbase even met with the SEC and laid out their legal reasoning before listing the asset. The SEC, notably, did not object. So Coinbase moved forward. They added XRP to their platform and even promoted it along with USDC as a fast and cost-effective solution for international money transfers. It seemed like smooth sailing, until everything changed. In December 2020, the SEC sued Ripple Labs, claiming that all XRP tokens were unregistered securities, regardless of how or where they were sold. Deaton argues this lawsuit came in bad faith. He pointed out that the SEC was already aware of XRP's regulatory background, especially a 2015 settlement with FinCEN that classified XRP as a convertible virtual currency, requiring Ripple to follow strict compliance and reporting standards for years. And then there's what Deaton called a smoking gun, a confidential SEC memo from June 2018, where SEC staff reportedly concluded that XRP did not meet the criteria for enforcement action under the Howey test. This memo, Deaton says, shows that the SEC never believed XRP was a security at the time. The contradiction between the SEC's earlier inaction and their later lawsuit stunned not just Ripple, but platforms like Coinbase, which had been operating under the assumption that XRP was cleared for trading. After the lawsuit, XRP's price was rocked, and it was pulled from major exchanges. But the XRP community stood firm. Over 75,000 XRP holders joined the legal fight as amicus curiae, friends of the court. Their persistence paid off in July 2023, when Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that XRP sales on secondary markets were not securities, a massive win for Ripple, Coinbase, and everyday investors alike. Now, the tides are turning again. Coinbase's request to the CFTC could mark the beginning of a new chapter, one where XRP futures aren't just possible, but fully regulated. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, is now allowing XRP futures trading, a pivotal moment that marks the end of a years-long battle. As Deaton put it, this is the conclusion of a struggle that consumed an enormous amount of money, energy, and time. The choice to pursue XRP futures through the CFTC rather than the SEC sends a powerful signal. It frames XRP as a commodity rather than a security. This distinction could open the door for institutional investors to confidently enter the market. Coinbase's decision to move forward with XRP futures despite lingering regulatory uncertainty speaks volumes. If there were still doubts about XRP's legal status, the company wouldn't risk launching such a product. The fact that the CFTC is overseeing this space is a further indication that the US government is beginning to treat XRP and potentially other digital assets differently. This shift represents the outcome of gradual regulatory evolution. XRP's history has been filled with lawsuits, setbacks, and regulatory limbo. But this moment could mark the beginning of a new chapter, one where XRP no longer fights for validation, but instead plays a leading role in shaping the future of regulated crypto trading. As Dean said, "We won." Now that Coinbase is backing XRP more strongly, the next battleground could be the price chart. Which leads to the question on everyone's mind. What's next for XRP? Could Coinbase's move finally be the catalyst that sends Ripple soaring? And will long-time XRP holders finally see the life-changing returns they've been waiting for? Legal experts and crypto analysts are weighing in, and some of their insights might surprise you. The XRP narrative is evolving rapidly, and if you're not watching closely, you could miss a major financial shift. Through all the market turbulence and global uncertainty, XRP's loyal community has remained steadfast. As Amonix humorously noted, "At least you have XRP." But there's truth in that sentiment. Community confidence is quietly building. Traders like Steph are urging others to look beyond the noise. From a technical standpoint, XRP remains in a strong uptrend on higher time frames, he tweeted. "The next move up is just a matter of time. When in doubt, zoom out." And zooming out does tell a compelling story. XRP has survived regulatory storms and emerged more resilient, now becoming a centerpiece in institutional discussions. Ambitions are growing. Influencer King XRP playfully tweeted, "President declares US cryptos like XRP will soar, and prosperity will follow." While exaggerated, with Ripple's growing partnerships and central banks considering digital currencies, it no longer sounds so far-fetched. Triple Pumpkin added that 98% of holders might sell at $10 or $50, but he's holding out for $100 and beyond. This mindset reflects a growing number of long-term believers who think XRP's role in a tokenized economy will drive its value far higher than most expect. One of the boldest forecasts came from Patrick Bet David, the entrepreneur with a net worth over $350 million, who reportedly claimed XRP could hit $1,000 someday. The most extreme prediction came from Crypto Geek, who tweeted that XRP might reach $10,000 in the U.S.A. A number that initially sounds absurd. But it's actually based on serious analysis from Volatile Capital. Their XRP collateralization model ties the token's value to the global wealth market, estimating a potential fair value of $122,580 per XRP. According to their calculations, if the world's total estimated wealth of $5.30 quadrillion were to be tokenized, and XRP played a key role in that process, this astronomical valuation could be justified.